Today, what I'm going to be working on is making 3 different projects for beginners. Okay, so this is going to be for those people who have, it's beyond the basics, it's beyond the mug, beyond the bowl. So after you make a mug and after you make a bowl and you're feeling a little more confident in your work, where do you go from there? Here's some things that you can do that make it kind of fun, interesting, and they make great gifts. So the first one I'm going to do is a soap dish. I'm not using a large amount of clay. I didn't weigh it out, but I'll bet you this is close to maybe 3/4 of a pound to a pound, somewhere in there. For this one, let's say that you aren't very good at centering. I'm going to show you a cheat. So I'm going to push it off on purpose. There we go. Okay, so it's off. I'm trying to make that as flat as I can right now. I don't want to go too thin because your soap dish has to have ridges for the water for the soap. See how far off that is now? Okay, so here's the cheat. I'm going to take my needle tool and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to cut it off. The unevenness is now gone. Okay. To lift the edge, I'm going to take my sponge, I'm going to push it right against the bat. I'm going to push it into the clay, and as I push on that clay right there, it's going to start lifting some up. See that? Now this isn't a very big soap dish, so this isn't going to work very good for that. Maybe I'll have to change my mind on what this is going to be. I'm going to make this edge right there. I'm going to pull that edge up like that. And then I'm going to lay it down a bit. I like to keep this little edge right here. This little edge in there. And see, this middle part is pretty thick. What I'm going to do with that thickness is I'm going to put a ridge in it. Now, if this were a soap butt dish, this is what I would be doing. I'd be putting an edge in it right there, an edge in it right there, another edge in it right here. Maybe put this out a little bit. There we go. Now the soap can rest on that. The problem is that a soap bar of soap is going to fill it up to about right here. So this isn't a very good soap dish. So we're going to transform this now from a soap dish into a spoon rest. Okay, so a spoon rest can be a little shallower. And bring that all the way out like that. If it doesn't work one way, you turn it into something else. So that's a cheat number 2. So I made a plate, right there. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to push this side down a little bit. There's a spoon rest, just like that. Okay, the little spoon will go right on there. That'll make a nice little spoon rest. Let's go with that spoon rest for real, or that soap dish for reals this time. Here we go. I'm going to start pressing this down to form it into the plate. So I'm going to just make that as flat as I can. Still has some thickness to it. It's maybe a 1/2 inch thick, which will be good. I'm going to take my sponge again, push it all the way against the bat, like that, and then I'm going to push it into the clay. And as I push it down on the bat and into the clay, it's going to lift that up a little bit. Once that lifts it up a little bit, I'm able to pull it just a little into a little bit of an edge. You know, lay this down just a hair, not a whole lot. Okay, because what I'm going to do with this later on So I'm gonna put some little cute handles on this thing. Now with this one, instead of putting a bullseye like I did the last one, I'm gonna put a spiral in it. So I'm gonna I'm gonna get my sponge wet. I'm gonna put some pressure right in the middle. I'm gonna come out. So I'm gonna spin my wheel slowly. I'm gonna come out quicker than the wheel is spinning. So watch how this works. Push in and drag that out. There it is, nice spiral. That will be a good little soap dish. I'm gonna end up putting some handles on here like that. Now, the handles I'm gonna do are just some coil handles. I'm gonna wet my table. I'm gonna get it a little damp first. This will help me so that when I'm rolling, when I go to bend this coil, the surface of it is nice and damp instead of dry, and it will make it so the coil will bend without any problems. This is a welding rod, okay? What I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna roll this. I'm gonna break this up a little bit because I don't need it that long. Those ought to do just fine. I'm gonna put that on a little bit of an angle. I'm gonna roll this directly over the top of the welding rod. It's gonna give me a nice little design. Now I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna do this. Make it half round. I have two half round little spiral designed handles, and I'm going to take a little chunk out of an edge with my biscuit cutter here. A little chunk there, a little chunk on this other side, then a little score and slip on there. And this is going to be pressed on right there. I kind of press it down and I've kind of shoved it around the lip. So it makes a cute little handle. There we go. So there is my soap dish. I'm gonna make another spoon rest, a little different type of spoon rest. And I just make this as flat as I can with my hand. For most of my plates, I like the middle part to be just a little thinner than the outer edge. So I like them to have a very subtle dish to them. So I'm putting that in right now. You really can't see it much, but this part right here is just a little thinner than this out here. And on a bigger plate, it would go from about 1/4 of an inch to maybe 3/8. And one day when I make plates for a video, I'll talk about why. But that's what I do. I'm gonna lift this edge again, push this down, put it into the clay, lift that up. There we go. I'm going to pull that wall up. And for this one, because I'm not gonna really trim this later on, some of these I'm gonna trim, but some of them I won't. And for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my wooden stick, my trim stick, to the bottom of it right now, and I'm gonna get some of that off so that down there looks good. There we go. Take a wet sponge to it. There's a little something on the bottom now. Now I can take my sponge, I can take this lip edge and I can bend that out. Okay. So there's that first edge that I like to have a lot of times. Here's my lip edge. I'm gonna take my thumbs right here. I'm gonna lift that up and I'm gonna push that down. Okay, there you go. What that does is it gives you a place to rest that spoon right in there. And it comes out this way. Okay, For my last project, I'm going to make a ring holder. For these, there's some really cool things that we're able to do with the glazes. I'm going to show you a finished ring holder after I'm done making this one. But to do the cool thing that I'm going to show you, it requires you to have a high fire stoneware, or mid-range. So you can be, if you're firing to cone 6 or cone 10, then you can melt marbles in it. And the melted marbles look really, really cool. It's like, it does all sorts of really kind of fun things. So I'm still kind of flat. I'm not all the way down yet. I probably have an inch patty right there, okay? And I'm still kind of flat. Instead of putting the hole right in the middle, I'm gonna scoot out this way and I'm gonna start pushing down out here, okay? As I push down out here, you see this middle part starts to grow. That middle part is going to be the ring part. See how tall it's getting? They grow really tall pretty quick. That's way higher than what it was when I first started pushing down. Okay, now that I'm down in the middle, down here as far as I want to go, I'm going to drag that out. And I have a little edge here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that edge up. You guys can see that now. There's a little bottom to that. Now with my beginning students, I have them do this on the bottom because these are a technical thing to trim. All right. Now, as you can see, this right here looks just fine, other than this is really thick. Here's how I thin it out. I'm gonna put my fingers and thumb just like that. I'm gonna put it on both sides. I'm gonna start at the top and I'm gonna slowly pinch a little bit, just a little bit, and I'm gonna push that down. As I do that, it's gonna smooth it out. It's gonna make it thinner. I'm gonna have to do this a bunch of times, especially if I'm beginning. It's gonna grow taller every time I do it. Now sometimes what's fun is for me to leave a little bump down at the bottom here. Right there. Come back up here. Thin that out just a little bit more. There we go. See how that's thinned out? The only problem now is the very tippy top. For that tippy top, I'm going to get some of the goo off of it. I'm going to put my fingers up there, I'm going to brace it on one side, and I'm going to push with my finger until it kind of creates a little bit of a sharpening. That will be a much better top for this whole thing, okay? Now, more decoration. Okay, there we go, a ring holder. So this right here is my ring holder. And what I've done is I have put marbles in the bottom there. You can see what those marbles did. They kind of fracture, they melt and they fracture. And it creates this pool of really deep color and interest in these ring holders. They're just so, it's just so cool. People love it.